Welcome back to Happy Mind, Happy Life podcast. I don't think I would really call this an episode. I really just want to sit here and kind of vent. I will probably name this actually an episode because I was supposed to record a different episode. But yeah, let's get into it. So Saturday, I was literally in the hospital and my appendix was inflamed, and so I had to be admitted. I was in there for like 2 days. This hospital bed will not come off for some effing reason. I don't know. But yeah, I had peace in there. I really had peace. But Diamond just texted me back. So anyways, like my appendix was swollen and I was like throwing up like all over the place and pretty much I couldn't stop. I couldn't walk. I wasn't eating for 2 days while I was in there. Like I was starving. And then I finally get out on Monday. Thank goodness that I survived that whole thing because I was literally a little bit scared because I already deal with health issues as is. And so, like, I was ready to pack it up and go home. Mind you, the service was terrible. It was terrible. I probably stressed them out too, but you know. And so then, like, I came home, made something that was just kind of like home cooked or whatever. That was that. Like I actually ate something that was actually good. So that was the highlight of my weekend kind of. And then but we'll get into what Diamond is talking about because that's what this whole episode is. And I got home, I was cool. I was fine. I was happy to be here. I was drinking water. Y'all know I don't like water. But that night or whatever, or not even that day, like that afternoon, mind you, like when people come into this house, like I feel like they can either speak, they don't have to speak. You know what your smoke is with me, but it is what it is. Like I don't always have to talk to people. But I had posted on my Snapchat, I was like, what is the definition of weird? Because I was at a game Friday night and this girl, not even this girl, Rodney's baby mom, like she was introducing somebody to everybody. Like mind you, she comes over to the house all the time to pick up her daughter, and yet she doesn't say nothing when she leaves. Like she doesn't say hey or nothing. But yet yesterday, which was Monday, she came in and she was just like, and I didn't say nothing. And then she was like, oh, my son has the same shirt. And I still didn't say nothing. Because there's other plenty of times that you came in this house and you didn't say nothing. Cool, but I'm not gonna use my voice. I'm not gonna do anything to speak to somebody who doesn't go out of the way to speak to me. Like I feel like that's common courtesy. And so now today is what, Tuesday? So I went back to work today. It was cool. And I kind of had a good day. Like I talked to my coworkers, my friends there. I was laughing. I was happy a little bit. I was talking my mess per usual. I was getting stared down, and I don't know why. It was weird. And then I got home, and things just took a left turn. I was like just chilling, and my brother and his daughter, I wouldn't even call him a brother, and his baby mother came in or whatever. And then I think the baby was probably going to come to me, but who knows. And Chris had walked over to me to put on some Germ-X. And mind you, I have like some Germ-X in my keychain thing that I hold onto. And so I was like, I have Germ-X right here. And like I just said I have Germ-X right here. And so I was like, that's it. Like that is literally it. And so he was still standing over me like I owe him something and I don't. And so he was like, so you're not gonna use it or anything? Like he wanted a problem, like he wanted an issue. And I was like, that's the end of discussion. Like I have some Germ-X right here. That's it. And then Theo's was just like, what's the issue? What's the problem? Da 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 da. And then I was like, you can walk away. He was like, I don't have to walk away because I know you're not gonna do nothing. I was like, I don't have to do anything. You know what I'm saying? Like people are always throwing out threats like I'm going to do something because I know I don't have to do anything. And one thing I do stick by is like saying like God deal with people who really be trying me, because I really be trying to like not to say something. I do sometimes be trying to walk away, but I feel like if I don't bring a problem to certain people, like I don't know how to reword it. I feel like I should be able to defend myself. If I create the problem, I want to be able to take accountability. But yeah, and he just stood there like throwing out threats like, Brittany, I would really like break your face, or I would really hit you in your face right now. And I was like, okay, so do it. My face is right here. My face is literally right here. And so like that was that. And then his baby mother wanted to say something cool. And she was just saying like the situation is just childish and dumb. And like he asked me a question, he told me or asked me to do something, and I gave him an answer. And the answer was like I have Germ-X in my keychain, like literally on my keychain. And that should have been it. And yet like nobody like was doing anything. So he wanted to be like, oh, you should go back to the hospital, or you should have stayed in the hospital. And I was like, I should have, because it was more peaceful. It was much more better. Like I had some peace, like a TV, a bed, IV, and I was fine. Cool. And so then my dad like came in there. He was like trying to like chime the situation down or whatever. And I was like, Dad, like when my dad steps in, it just aggravates me because he's gonna say something to me always sometimes, but he does say something to them. I feel like he does say something to his son, but I feel like the more so aggressiveness comes towards me because he'll tell me to stop, and I'm like, I'm not doing anything. And then he'll like tell him to like walk away or like leave her alone. Like, you came in here bothering her, like she don't bother you, so you don't bother her. Period. And it just literally started from there because he was literally like saying shady stuff, and I wasn't doing any of that. Like, I didn't do any of that, and he was just like, "Oh, you want to act like that because Destiny's here?" And I was like, "No." And then Destiny had said something, but I had like said something back to her, and she was just like, "Why are you yelling at me?" My thing is, don't chime into anything. They ain't got nothing to do with you. Me and him are having a conversation. It's just me and him. That is literally it. If I gave him an answer, that should have been it. Period. Like, it just doesn't make any sense because I had gotten into an argument with Ronnie yesterday. He was like putting his finger in my face, like overly aggressive. And Chris, like, he's overly aggressive too. Like, they want to act big and bad in front of women. They want to do all this, but yet these are the same people who I have conversations with who talk shit about people. And yet y'all want to sit here and be all friendly, whatever. Like, and I was just like, this is weird. This is so stupid. So like, I was literally like cussing everybody out. Like, especially my dad. Like, I told him I'll apologize to him later. And I told my dad, like, sorry, but no, you're not gonna sit here and do that. Then I was like, I'm tired of the mental abuse, the physical abuse, the verbal abuse, like the sexual abuse, all of that. And he was like, well, who sexually abused you? And I told him, because it's in this family. And he's like, oh, well, that didn't happen to you. That didn't happen to you. Mind you, I try to let all of this stuff go, right? I try to let all this stuff go. Mind you, when this happened to me, like, it was like pretty much like my dad was trying to convert the situation and say, like, I'm trying to figure out what's gonna happen. This probably happened in like 2018, 17, maybe 19. No, it had to be 18 or 17, whatever the year. And then my dad was like, I'm trying to figure out if he needs to go to his mom's house. Mind you, I was dealing with a lot of stuff, like court cases and stuff, like because he was the person who did it. He was like the aggressor in the house. Like, he was throwing stuff at me. I was like being physically like abused, like fighting and all of that stuff. Mind you, my dad wasn't home sometimes for some of this stuff. And when I like finally open up my mouth to like actually say something, it gets thrown back in my face like it didn't happen. And so my dad literally just stood there in front of me. He said none of this happened. So I said, I was like, okay, cool. And the kids were in the room, but like they got escorted out. And like I sat there and I listened to my dad. He was like, I just want peace. And a lot of times he doesn't step in to bring that peace because he is sat there and not taking accountability for his actions. He has denied any and everything, every single thing that has happened in the past. He still does it to this day. Like he said, he doesn't do anything. He's never done anything to his kids. And me, with all the abuse, anything I've endured, I've always tried to put my best foot forward. I've always tried to be a better person. I've always tried to correct my wrongs or not create the same patterns, and more patterns. I've tried on it. I've tried. And I'm like, I'm over it because I didn't want to be moved back into this place after December or during December or after January, whatever, because of this, because of the mental, the physical, verbal abuse that I've endured. So it's not fair. And then I called my mom and I told her, and my mom was like, oh, I don't want to hear any of that. And I'm like, my mom was like, remove yourself, like, from the situation. Because if they don't want to remove themselves, then you need to remove yourself. But she wasn't making it no better. My mom wasn't making it no better. She was like, why are you yelling at me? Or really, I'm really just talking, like, how I'm talking right now is how I was talking to her. And I tell y'all, I'm like a strong behind person. And my dad would be like, and I'll be like, Dad, this is why like a lot of people commit suicide. This is why people OD. This is why people go through the things that they do. And he's like, oh, that's why people SHIT. And really, it's not. It's really not. Because I really told him, like, I didn't know what I wanted to do in my life. I didn't know if I wanted to live this life. I told Diamond that too. Because if I have to deal with this every single day that I come home to a house that I don't even want to be in, and I try to create peace for myself all the time, and I still get bothered when unintentionally I don't bother anyone, and that sucks. That sucks. Like, if I had the resources and stuff right now to, like, literally be on my own and, like, have my own stuff, yeah. But even other situations have brought, like, my view, my perspective to a whole different perspective, and nobody gets to see me like this vulnerable. And like sometimes I really just want to get in my car and drive and just not stop. Like I've been into dying, and yeah, like I've been into dying. I don't know. I really don't know. And this is why I have like anxiety pretty much all the time. And this is why people are on Do Not Disturb. This is why people get blocked. This is really why people get blocked. I love blocking people. My mom's probably gonna get blocked. My dad's gonna probably get blocked. I'll probably not talk to them for a long time because I just probably won't speak to them because their behavior towards me, and then be like, well, what do you want me to do about it? I know you can't really do much about it, but these are your children. These are the children that you raised or whatever. But it's not fair to me that I have to keep enduring all this. It's not fair to me. And then when I react, it's a problem. When I do what I want, the way that I want, the way that I react, it's a problem. It's an issue. And I feel like that's just me because I've endured so much, and that's the only way I keep peace. That's the only way I survive a lot of things. I think this is Suicide Prevention Month. It is only 5:24. 5:24. Yeah. I don't know. I'll probably post this episode and then I don't know. I don't know. I just hope, like, I'm just tired, like, of the fakery, the weird stuff. Like, that's what another episode is gonna be about. Like, the fakery, the weird, the just unbearable certain stuff, like being comfortable with the uncomfortable and stuff like that. And that's what another episode was gonna be about. But I don't even know when I'm gonna get to that. I just feel like just even in the past weekend and now, like, we're at Tuesday and I'm already dealing with dumb stuff. And at this point, I don't care, like, who's in my life or who's not, because if you value me, if you support me and stuff like that, I really hope and pray, like, people turn to the abusers and say, like, this is enough. Like, this is stupid. Like, you're weird. Like, you should never talk to a person like that. Like, and I don't have that. I don't have that support. Not from my siblings, not from my parents. A lot of people that I call as close friends or, like, even, like, close sisters and stuff like that. Like, I feel like Diamond is definitely sure, but I don't feel like I have, like, any of that for real. Usually I don't want to vent to anyone that I meet, like, newly because of the things that I deal with within this whole household or anything that I've grown up and dealt with. I try my best to, like, release. I try my best to be positive. I try my best to take care of me. I love when the person that I work with just asks me if I'm okay. Yeah. Oh, I'm about to have a headache. But yeah. Hopefully things can get calmed down within my brain cells and everything. Yeah. I will probably sleep the day away after I go get some medicine. And yeah. I wish, and I told my dad, I was like, I wish I didn't have to grow up in a lifetime where these were my parents, like, these were my siblings, because things would be so much different. Maybe not, but I would hope better, but God blessed me with these kinds of people, and I don't know where the blessing is in that. I don't know. Maybe I'm the blessing in all that. I don't know. I hope that whoever is, like, watching can, like, hear my story and hopefully, be able to speak up, speak out, and listen to what I'm saying, because this is what I do with on a basis, and I feel like this is the only way that I really use, like, my platform to, like, speak out and say what I want to say, regardless of how anyone feels, because this is my truth. This is really the real, and this is why I am the way that I am. So it's not me being weird or funny. It's just, this is really how sometimes, like, I protect my peace. This is what I've dealt with. This is what I've grown to endure and understand. Like, a lot of people won't change, and I can't control that they won't change. But I understand, like, God has a plan, and I understand, like, God deals with people who really want to treat the good people wrong. I wholeheartedly believe in that. Like, what is life? What is life? I don't even want to talk to nobody. I don't want to vent to nobody. Yeah. Yeah. I really want to say thank y'all for tuning in to Happy Mind, Happy Life. Make sure y'all comment, like, and subscribe. Hopefully this could be up today. I pray it is. Maybe later today. But we gonna see. So again, if y'all, like, want to share y'all stories as well, like, feel free to reach out to me on any of my platforms, social medias, whatever. DM me. I hope people can send me positive encouragement. I don't want to ask anybody else. Anyways, thank y'all for tuning in. Hope to be back to y'all soon with a new episode. Peace.